Welcome to the We Are One Summit. And we are here today with Amanda Slade. And Amanda Slade is an evolution catalyst who guides you to discover your soul's brilliance, to create a purposeful, impactful life. Creator of the Diamond Co-Creative System, she seamlessly integrates spiritual wisdom with practical applications, leveraging over 20 years of successful corporate experience to deliver real-world results. Since 2001, she's helped thousands achieve transformation and spiritual growth to embody soul-aligned potential. Amanda is featured in the Pillars of Power movie alongside Dr. Joe Vitale, John Assaraf, and Victor Hansen, and other luminaries from The Secret to bridge science and spirituality through sacred geometry and to access your greatness and co create success. She's a seasoned speaker and podcast guest and published author of the #1 bestseller, Healer's Oracle, Volume 2, and the author of Evolve Your All. Create and live in the fifth dimension of love and joy and prosperity. And a 30 days soul journey, discover the brilliance, the diamond brilliance within. So, welcome, Amanda. It's so good to see you.
Hey, it's great to be with you. We've met a few years ago. So it's been
Yeah.
fun to co-create with you throughout the years and really reconnect for this summit. And so grateful for you holding the summit. We need this at this time, right? We are
Yeah. Yep.
one.
We
So,
are. And I think that, one of the really beautiful things that I experienced with your work was that I remember the very first group healing that I was a part of. You laid out this beautiful tapestry with all of these codes, which were these kind of images. God, and I don't know, honestly, at the time, I had no idea. We're going to talk more about what all of this system is. But at the time, you were just like, put all your crystals on there, anything special, So we kind of had this circle. And I was like, literally, I'm very sensitive to energy, but I was like I literally felt like I was like blown back when the healing started. It was phenomenal. And after that, I was just like, oh, I need to learn from this person. I'm so glad that we're getting a chance to sit down and communicate because it's like a lot of the work that you do is a little bit more galactic. It's a little bit, it's kind of, it's between it's here, it's
right.
here. But so yeah, tell us a little bit about the codes and your program. I'm just,
Yeah,
I'm
so it is
fascinated.
galactic, but it's very grounded. And it's only galactic because it's universal.
Mm,
And so the Diamond Co-Creative System is all founded, created upon sacred geometry and Metatron's cube. And whether you realize it, the universe is constructed through sacred geometry. We're constructed through sacred geometry. We have that. And what does sacred geometry really mean? Well, it bridges science and spirituality together. It's not either or, it's an and energy and it's an and way of being. And the sacred geometry, has that science, that numerical, that geometry, all of that creates structure and form. So the Diamond Co-Creative System is created through 13 of our Diamond Co-Creation codes. And then there's a combination of different codes as well that have been used to really up level the way to heal and transform, but also to create and manifest and evolve into that we are one unity consciousness. And the experience that you were sharing was done with the matrix of oneness, which is behind me.
mhm.
And the matrix of oneness is a combination of 13 of what we call ascension codes. And they work as a collective together to create that unity consciousness and oneness because the system itself is a 12th dimensional technology. And again, it's still that science base, but it helps you connect at that spiritual level of yourself, of your soul's essence, of your divine blueprint, which was founded in love, and which is all sacred geometry as well, because love is the base of sacred geometry. That is how it originated.
And can you give us an example of some sacred geometries that we have in our body or that we see in the world around us, just to kind of give people a baseline of like what are we talking about when we're talking about sacred geometry?
Absolutely. I was looking for something, but uh, so the golden mean spiral, if you look at shells, you'll see the golden mean spiral. In a big shell, you'll see it. Golden mean spiral, Vesca Pisces, the diamond, and also the Merkaba. There's so many different pieces of sacred geometry. But, it is in nature. It's in the shells, it's in the trees, it's in the flowers. If you even look at certain flowers, you can see the how the sacred geometry. And, it's the flower of life is also, part of the sacred geometry that we build upon. And so it's not outside of us. It's actually within us. It's within nature. And again, everything that we have around us. They're even showing, if you look at a tree, if you cut down a tree, you'll see the sacred geometry in the stump, so in the leaves and snowflakes. There's so many ways that sacred geometry shows up.
Yeah. How did you start finding the sacred geometry in your life? Like, how did you start connecting to these codes and this whole system? Can you give us a little bit of the backstory about how all of this arrived at your doorstep?
In 2001, the original 9 of the Diamond Co-Creation codes downloaded. So it was channeled in, and then it was actually hand drawn. And then we placed it. What I was guided to do was then construct it on the Metatron's cube, take it and art render it on Metatron's cube. And from there, then they evolved over the years. There's been ways that certain parts of the codes have changed. We added in what we call the universal L, which is universal love and co-creation. We've added metallic bands, sacred geometry, design bands around them. So, it's evolved over time. But, I work with a team of guides as well as, of course, Metatron and specifically Metatron and Archangel Michael, and then just a team that overlights this, that brings forth the new energy. And then in 2015, we downloaded what we call the cosmic diamond co-creation codes. And those cosmic ones they brought in new galactic codes, universal light language. And the universal light language and sound is already inherent within each of the codes. We actually have music that was channeled in by a really amazing composer to bring in the sound frequencies of the codes. And each code also works with different chakras. So we have the sound frequency of the chakra with the code. And when people utilize that together, it's amazing when they work with the code and the music, what occurs. Because it really opens up an access to that multidimensional part of you. You're not just this physical body, right? We are multidimensional. We have our soul's essence. We have present and past lives, future lives. There's so much that makes up of us. There's certain encodings we have, genetic and lineage encodings. There's conditioning and programming. So all of that, when you're working with a code, they have a divine self consciousness to them that know what you need and want, regardless if you know what you need or want. And I know you've experienced this. You don't even know what they're really doing, but you do know you feel better when you work with the codes. And working with the codes means that you can be doing a meditation with it, healing, just have it hanging up. I have codes all over my house and in my office. Having them, laying them on you. I do ceremonies. Other people do ceremonies throughout the world with them and bury them on the lands because we can work with the lands and the waters. It goes back to we are all one, right? You can work with them with your animals. You actually can activate the codes in your hands and work with them that way. And then when I'm doing one-on-one work or group work, we're activating the codes and they're shifting the energetic frequency of what's going on within you, but also what's going on around you. So they're super powerful. But you don't have to know what each code does or how the system really works in order for it to work. So that makes it really simple. And if you can just let go of the need to know or need to control your process, then so much more can happen than what you even imagined.
One of the things that you discuss sometimes is this kind of jump from a 3D reality to the 5D reality, this like three-dimensional to the five-dimensional. Can you give us a little framework for what is an existence of a 3D reality and what is the vibrational jump to the five-dimensional reality? Can you kind of break down like what like life feels like at one and then what it feels like to jump to a different?
That's a great question. Because it's all about vibrations. We are energy, whether you realize it or not, your energy. Your thoughts are energy, your feelings are energy, your beliefs, your words, every action you take is all energy. And when you're manifesting, are you manifesting what you truly want, or are you manifesting what you're vibrationally aligned to currently, even if your desire may be in a different vibration, it may be in a higher vibration. So there's a mismatch. So there won't be a vibrational match. So you'll miss it. So the 3D piece, basically all of us grew up in third dimensional paradigms. And the 3D is fear-based. Uh, Typically, there's lots of pain, you're struggling, you're suffering. There's a need to know, need to control. There's also this energy of competition, have to make it happen, pushing, really forcing things, type of thing. And so the way that you can experience life is there could be lots of challenges. You always, there might be a crisis or some sort of struggling that you're going through, a challenge that you're going through. Relationships don't necessarily work. Relationships typically in the third dimension are codependent. So where you're looking outside of yourself for love, for validation, approval, and really trying to fit in. So that's really all third dimensional kind of living. And third dimension is about also just trying to survive, get through life kind of thing. Then there's the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is the bridge between the third and the fifth. The fourth dimension, and in the third dimension, it's more egoic mind based, because it's really your ego is trying to keep you safe, protect you, keep security, and you look to security and safety outside of yourself than from within. Fourth dimension, you realize, oh, I'm much more than this physical body, right? Fourth dimension, you go, oh, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. You realize you actually, if you invite God, divine, however you term that, into your life. And also you realize, oh, I also have an etheric team I could work with, such as spirit guides and angels, ascended masters. And some of them are embodied in a physical body, like how you work with your guru, right?
Mhm.
So she's embodied. But in that fourth dimension, you start living more of a spiritual based life. And you really realize there is a connection between the spiritual and the physical, right? Fifth dimension. Fifth dimension is in higher frequencies. It is founded in love. The way that you learn, uh, so the way that you learn in third dimension is through pain, struggle, and suffering. In the fifth dimension, you might still have challenges, all right, and problems. We're not saying those go away. However, the way that you approach them and the way that you learn is through joy, journey, onward yielding. So, are you yielding into your more? Are you yielding into the possibilities? Are you yielding into what to let go so that you can prosper and thrive? So in the fifth dimension, the energy is again founded in love. And another way that we say love is living only vibrant energy or living one vibrant energy. So now you are actually going within and you are realizing the powerful creator and co-creator that you are. So you learn through joy and there's a flow, there's synchronicity, there is prosperity and abundance, and you have a prosperity consciousness versus a lack consciousness. Most of us grew up with a lack, scarcity, not enough consciousness. In fifth dimension, you realize, oh, whatever's occurring, it's still there is a reason for it. And I don't dip down into the lack consciousness. I go, how do I prosper through this experience? So prosperity isn't just about money, although that's part of it. Um, but there's this prosperity that you really do believe that the universe has your back, the universe is showing you the way, and you really believe in the universe providing for you, even if it looks challenging in a moment. And you remind yourself in the fifth dimension, this is transitory. Yes, this is a blip. And rather than dip down, and doesn't mean that you won't dip down into the third dimension, because fear might come up, especially with everything that's going on in the world. But you realize you have a conscious choice to, oh, I dip down in fear. And instead of finding evidence that appears real, I'm moving into focusing energies to alter results. So you could utilize the fear in a different way. And now you're working in fifth dimensional qualities and vibrations that allow for more the possibilities and what we call solutions to occur. So in the fifth dimension, you feel there's so much more ease and grace and less stress and less trying to make it happen. In the fifth dimension, you're co-creating it happening. Like, like the magic, it's very magical when you live in the fifth dimension because you don't have to effort in it. Um, it's the egoic mind that efforts in it. When you're in your divine mind in fifth dimension vibrations, you're allowing and you allow yourself to receive what's the potential, what's the possibilities versus trying to like figure it out.
Yeah. I'm getting, as you're talking, I'm getting images of like it's like if you're trying to put your foot into like a cold river in the third dimension, and then you're like, I'll walk upstream, I'll get up there, I'll step on some uncomfortable rocks. And then it's like when you're flowing in fifth dimension, it's like you've got a wetsuit on and you're just swimming with the current. You're like swimming with the current. It's like,
And
you
then they
know,
even bring you a rubber raft so you can just hold on and just like, get in it and sit back and relax. That's a great analogy. That's a great analogy.
So, can you share a little bit, like in the time, in the spaciousness where you had downloaded the codes and you were starting to see these images and put them down on paper and starting to work with them? Can you share a little bit about how they began transforming your life? Like,
Oh,
how did you notice yourself shifting from the third and fourth dimension up into these kind of like higher vibe beliefs?
Absolutely. Listen, when they first downloaded, I didn't feel I was really that connected to myself or to the universe. I was on an energetic healing path, a spiritual path at that point, and had been diving into healing energetically what was going on in my life. I left, well, literally, my soul got me fired from 20 years of corporate, and I was VP of sales and marketing at that time. And I only identified myself at that. So once I got fired, and literally my soul took over and got me fired. And said, that's enough. You've completed that part of your journey. And and I'm really grateful that I had that, because it makes it much easier to be in this type of work and have that background, because it brings in that grounded, practical way of doing it. So so when the codes came in, um, I started working with two of them really specifically, and one was the connection code, and one was the receive code. And the reason why, because I didn't feel that connected. And I knew that I really wanted to get connected within myself, with my soul, with the divine, with my guides, with my soul's purpose. I was really floundering. What's my purpose? Kind of thing. And even when the codes were downloaded, I'm like, what the heck are these things? I like kicked and screamed. My guides in the divine laugh at me because, in the beginning I fought with them a lot. And I'm like, what are you having me do? What is this thing? And but so I worked with that connection code and really opened up my channel and opened up my clear gifts. I knew I was already clairaudient and also claircognizant, but I didn't have that clairvoyance or that clairsentient. Yeah, I couldn't really feel things because I was so shut down. I grew up in a very codependent home, society, of course, and I was super, super codependent. And I had a lot of fear of abandonment, rejection, not good enough, didn't trust myself, didn't believe in myself. Even though I was super successful, I still had that going on within me. I was so scared people would really find out who I was because inside I didn't feel like that powerful being, right? That looked like it on the outside and super successful. So as I started working with the codes, I worked also with the receive code, because allowing myself to receive, because I was an overgiver, overdoer, overcompensated, and just did everything over the top because I was trying to prove that I was worthy and deserving of love, of success, all of that. So as I started working with the codes, I understood my codependency. I read the book Codependent No More by Melody Beattie. And I read it years prior to that. And when I read it, I just sobbed during it because I felt like, oh my God, I am so screwed up. How can I get out of this? Where, how? And it wasn't until I started doing energetic healing that it started unwinding. And then when I started using the codes from the system, it healed it once and for all. I am not codependent at all. Like it used to run me. I looked for everything outside of me. Now I go within. I don't look for people's opinions or approval or even look for love. I love myself. That's the main shift is that I love, accept, um, and believe and trust myself. Back then, I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust the divine. I didn't trust others. So, what the codes helped me do was build a confidence, a belief, and a trust in myself and also in the work, in what I'm here to do. And through going through that process, I was able to discover, oh, this is what I'm here to do. This is my purpose. This is my mission. And that hasn't changed since 2001, once I discovered that. And it evolved? It has evolved, but the core of it has not changed. And so I would say for myself personally, is that it shifted me dramatically on an energetic level. It shifted my way of thinking, my way of being, my way of feeling, and my way of knowing. And it's so powerful in if you allow for the codes to help you to get to that other side of where you think you're at and really channel in or embody your true essence, your soul's essence, which is all founded in love. And so the system has helped me immensely in that way. And there's also a tool that I used right in the beginning called the Universal Manifestation Tool, and in which I thought I was going to do a certain type of business, and I put a logo in. This was in the first year of getting the system. I put a logo in the center of the manifestation template, and everything about that business that I thought I was going to do fell away within 6 weeks. All the people, all the opportunities, and what the template was showing me, and what the system was showing me was this wasn't a viable business to open, and it wasn't my soul's purpose and mission. And I was astute enough to accept that. I did not argue about that. Instead, the question was, well, then what am I to do? And and they kept on saying it. I just wasn't listening. You're to be the healer. You're to be the teacher. You need to market yourself, not others. And in that, then I put my energy into that and really aligned, so aligned to what I do. And out of that was birth co-create your success, and then all the different, ways we develop the system more and all the ways that we utilize it in different programs and so on. So it dramatically shifted my life. Nothing was working up until then. Even the energetic healing that I was doing around the codependency, because if you're steeped in codependency, you won't be able to be your authentic self, and you won't be able to really fulfill your soul's mission, and the life that you're meant to live, because it convolutes everything.
And so you were thinking that you were wanting to share a little bit of your kind of, I call it magic, you can call it vibes, whatever, however whatever words feel appropriate here. But are you interested in doing a little demo for our
Yeah,
listeners and viewers today?
yeah, I would say it's magic.
Yeah, it feels like it. It feels
It
like it. It's
does. Well, it's
it's kind of like,
alchemical. The thing that, why it feels so magical is it's alchemical. And that the system works at an alchemical level. So it's again not making it happen. So So I'm bringing up the universal manifestation template. So I thought this would be really fun to share with everyone. And this is actually the free gift that we're giving is, and I was told to give this, the universal manifestation template, I was told to give away years and years ago because the divine, the universe, has everyone's back. It wants you to manifest what you're here to manifest and what your desires are, what your dreams are. So the universal manifestation template that's up here is it's literally when you put your intention in it or on it, you can write on it or just infuse it into a manifestation template. And we're going to play with that for a moment. When you do that, again, you're asking for the universe for help. And you're asking for what will be in your highest order and infinite diamond potential. Because a lot of times we may not see what's really possible. Just as I shared about the business, the logo of the business, and it showed me what it wasn't to then let go of that so then what could come in was possible. I've literally used this for houses, new homes, and they're always much more than what I even imagined. I've used it for relationships. I've used it in business. I use it for my programs. I use it for generating revenue. There's all different ways to use it for health and well-being. There's all different ways that you can utilize this, spiritual growth, and so on. So I want you to bring into your heart or your mind's eye, something that you would like to manifest in the next 30 days. And just allow whatever comes in.
Should I say it or should I just do it visually?
You can, since everyone's going to be here, but you could say it for you to give an example of what you would like.
So I'm putting my bringing in romantic partnership, like the love of my life is what I want.
Right. So here's what we play with that. So I am so joyous and grateful for my romantic, beloved partnership that's arriving on my doorstep. And I just love opening up my door, and there they are. And we have this magical, amazing relationship. And you could describe what that relationship is. Is it, loving, supportive, joyous, fun? And you describe it. And then at the end, thank you. This or something even more or better. Okay. So everyone just breathe that in and just close your eyes. And what they're asking us to do is imagine an infinity sign between your heart and the manifestation template. And so one part of the infinity sign is connected to your heart and then out, and then the other half of it is connected to the manifestation template. Now, bring in that intention. Imagine what that feels like. Wow, having that amazing, romantic, beloved partnership. Waking up to that person, having a beautiful, fun times together, loving and supporting one another, no matter how each of you show up, open, honest communication, whatever it is. And imagine yourself breathing that out into the manifestation template. And as you breathe it out, as you inhale back in from the manifestation template, that being so. We can even ask for the universal manifestation template to place itself as a hologram around you and place it also within your chakra system. And we ask for this universal manifestation template with this intention to activate, 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 accelerate, 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 and align, align, align in the fifth dimension or higher to your highest order and infinite diamond potential with this intention. And for those of you that may be sensitive or that you see, you may feel it beginning to spin. And sometimes it will spin counterclockwise first to spin out any energy that's incongruent with this intention. And that could be a thought, a feeling, something deep within you that doesn't line up, that isn't a vibrational match to what you've put out there. And then you may sense it just spinning clockwise. And as it spins clockwise, it's infusing what is in the highest order and infinite diamond potential for you. And what the guides are saying, go beyond what you even imagine. Let go of the how. We'll do the how. And allow yourself to receive the manifestation of this intention. Really breathe that in. And they're doing another infinity sign at your heart. The center point of the infinity sign is at your heart and connecting all the way up to all the way up to divine source, the great central sun, however you see that. And then the other half of it's going down into the earth to the center of the earth. And the reason why it's doing that, it's connecting the heavens and the earth within you, through you, and around you. And then helping this manifestation of your intention. And then just fill yourself up with gratitude. Gratitude of knowing it is so. And again, this or something even better, something more that's in my highest potential. And we see it as so, and so it is.
Ah, that felt so good.
Didn't it? It was
Yeah.
juicy.
Yeah. I was feeling a lot of movements around my head and kind of around the back of my heart. And yeah, it feels very, yeah, it does feel very juicy.
So yeah, and it will let you know where there's blockages, right? Or where it's sluggish, so to speak. And so then you know what to work on energetically to heal. What do you need to let go of? What do you need to realign, recalibrate, so that that intention, that vision that you have can come forth. So, when we're energetically blocked or we have a chakra or an energy body is compromised in some way, maybe there's emotional stagnation because of the past, because of conditioning, programming, and codings. Maybe there's outdated, limited belief systems. There could be even imprints that you've taken on from your family, their beliefs. And so it's sorting through what's true for you. And then how do you create that flow of energy? So there's your chakra system and your energy body systems are moving at optimal rates and are calibrated to the frequency, to the vibration of what you want to create and manifest. And this is where it makes the using the codes and using the system makes it so easy to do because they will show you and they will assist you in that transformation so that you can receive what's in your fullest potential.
Love that. Well, and so the manifestation template is part of your free gift, and the links are going to be below. So you can scroll down, and you can find Amanda on some of social media, on her website, and yeah, there's lots of amazing juicy stuff that you help transform with people, and these codes are phenomenal. Um, so, any last words of wisdom as we're wrapping up in our conversation today?
I I would say it's so important during these times that we're in. There's a lot of chaos, uncertainty, a lot of ways that we're being distracted or trying to be distracted or afraid. Going back to the core of what the summit is about, we are all one. First of all, begin with that oneness within you and do the work to create that oneness within you to love, have energetic integrity, emotional integrity within you, and be grounded and centered and connected with your soul's essence and with the divine. You can navigate through any of this energy with a sense of purpose, confidence, and power. Don't give your power away to others or what's going on. Keep, be empowered within. You are the creator and co-creator within your own life, and you have the power to do so.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and all of that beautiful healing energy. I'm so excited to see how it continues to transform for myself and for the world around me. So,
Thank you so much.
absolutely. And thank everybody for being part of the We Are One Summit, and we'll continue to enjoy these interviews. So thank you again, Amanda.
Bye. Thank you so much, Caroline, for holding this space.